Hello and welcome back to the GCP-Mindset channel. Today we'll talk about sponsorship as a service in clinical trials, more after the intro.
Welcome to the GCP-Mindset channel and all topics on clinical research.
Let us start with understanding what sponsorship as a service means in clinical research. Clinical trials are essential to advancing modern medicine. Whether we're talking about a breakthrough cancer therapy, a novel medical device, or even a new application for an existing drug, it all comes down to clinical trials, testing, validating, and proving that these innovations work and are safe. Now, at the heart of any clinical trial is a sponsor. But who is the sponsor, and what do they actually do? In simple terms, the sponsor is the legal and regulatory anchor of a clinical study. According to good clinical practice, the sponsor is the individual, company, institution, or organization that takes responsibility for the initiation, management, and, if needed, the financing of a clinical trial. They ensure that everything is compliant with laws and regulations, that the rights and safety of participants are protected, that the data are accurate and verifiable, and that the study sticks to the protocol and ethics standards. In practice, the sponsor role is heavy. It includes designing or approving the clinical protocol, submitting to ethics committees and regulatory agencies, ensuring site qualification and ongoing oversight, managing safety reporting, maintaining quality systems and data integrity, and taking legal liability if something goes wrong. Now, this is where sponsorship as a service, or SPaaS, comes into play. Instead of expecting a small startup or academic team to carry this immense responsibility alone, SPaaS offers a professional, experienced provider to take over the sponsor role, formally and legally. It's not just consulting. It's not just help. It's full assumption of sponsor duties under the provider's own quality management system, while allowing the original research team to stay focused on their science. Let us now explore why SPaaS is becoming more important than ever. In the last decade, clinical research has become exponentially more regulated. In Europe, the Clinical Trial Regulation, the Medical Device Regulation, and the IVDR have transformed how studies are conducted. What used to be a semi-formal local process is now a rigorous, multinational, highly standardized environment. These changes improve safety and quality, but they also raise the bar for who can realistically sponsor a trial. Large pharma companies and CROs, they have in-house regulatory departments, legal teams, and SOPs for everything. But what about a university lab? Or a biotech startup with 6 employees? These organizations might have an incredible idea, but they don't have the time, budget, or infrastructure to take on the sponsor role. That's where SPaaS fills the gap. Let us examine how SPaaS works in practical terms. When an organization chooses a SPaaS provider, they're outsourcing sponsor responsibilities, but not scientific control. The collaboration typically starts with a clear contract. This outlines the division of responsibilities, ownership of intellectual property and data, communication expectations, timelines and reporting structures, financial and operational boundaries. The SPaaS provider becomes the official sponsor on record. This means they submit to ethics committees and competent authorities, ensure adherence to GCP, manage trial sites, handle data reporting, and take full legal responsibility for the conduct of the trial. Meanwhile, the trial initiator, the startup, the research group, the principal investigator, remains in control of scientific direction. They decide on endpoints, inclusion criteria, treatment regimens, and publication strategy. This model is especially useful for investigator-initiated trials, IITs, and early-phase device or drug studies where the science is solid, but the operational bandwidth is limited. Let us take a deeper look at the benefits of SPaaS. There are multiple clear advantages to this model. 1. Access to regulatory expertise. SPaaS providers specialize in this. They stay current with all the evolving regulatory frameworks. That reduces risk and ensures compliance from day one. 2. Cost efficiency. Hiring a full regulatory team, creating SOPs, and maintaining a QMS is expensive. SPaaS is scalable and cost predictable. 3. Faster trial. Startup. Established providers already know how to prepare submissions and deal with regulators. They can fast-track timelines and reduce the back and forth. 4. Risk management. If there's a serious protocol deviation, adverse event, or inspection, the provider is ready. They manage reporting, mitigation, and communication. 5. Scientific focus. Your team can stay focused on what it does best, developing the science, interpreting data, and making a difference rather than managing legal documents or answering to regulatory bodies. Let us now talk about who SPaaS is for and who it's not. SPaaS isn't for everyone. If your organization has a mature clinical operations team, strong regulatory knowledge, and a compliant QMS, you may not need it. But SPaaS is ideal if 1. You're an academic researcher without sponsor backing. 2. You're a startup without the resources to build full trial oversight in-house. 3. You're running a cross-border study with complex regulatory interactions. 4. Your institution is unwilling or unable to take legal sponsor liability. 5. You have an idea that needs to move, but compliance is blocking you. In these cases, SPaaS can be the difference between a study that stalls in the planning phase and one that actually reaches patients. Let us walk through some key steps to implementing SPaaS successfully. If you're considering SPaaS, here's how to approach it. Step 1. Define your study objectives clearly. Know your population, intervention, endpoints, and timeline. Step 2. Choose the right SPaaS provider. Look for experience in your therapeutic area and your regulatory region. Step 3. Get the legal framework right. The contract should cover responsibilities, timelines, IP ownership, reporting obligations, and decision-making boundaries. Step 4. Establish open communication channels. Trust is key. Even though you're not the legal sponsor, you need to stay informed and involved. Step 5. Monitor progress and performance. Make sure milestones are met, and if needed, request audits or updates from your SPaaS provider. Step 6. Align on publication rights and final data access. These should always remain with the trial initiator. Let us also address the concerns some stakeholders may have. One common concern is, if I give up sponsor responsibility, do I lose control? The answer is no if the contract is written properly. You don't lose control over your research or your data. You delegate responsibility but retain scientific leadership. Another concern is, will regulators or ethics committees accept this model? The answer is yes. As long as there is a formally designated sponsor, and that sponsor meets all regulatory requirements, the structure is fully compliant. In fact, regulators often prefer experienced sponsor organizations over informal or under-resourced setups. The truth is this: many important studies would never happen without SPaaS. Investigator-initiated research would grind to a halt. Promising startups would be stuck in preclinical limbo. Important exploratory trials in rare diseases or device optimization would never reach patients. SPaaS is not just a service model. It's an enabler of innovation, of access, and of scientific progress. It brings professional sponsor-level management to those who can't do it alone. It levels the playing field, and in doing so, it helps ensure that good science doesn't die in a drawer because of red tape. So, if you're working in a small biotech, a medtech startup, an academic medical center, or you're just an ambitious researcher with a promising idea, know this: you don't have to carry the sponsor burden alone. Thank you for joining us on this episode. If you found this insightful, subscribe for more deep dives into clinical research strategy, innovation, and operations. And if you think SPaaS could help your next trial, don't hesitate to reach out. The future of clinical trials is collaborative, and it starts here.